Hey everybody, welcome back to Doc G's Reloading. Today I'm going to do an in-depth dive into the Area 419 orange vise. So, got it mounted to my bench, and in the first video I swapped out the stock aluminum. These are thick aluminum, soft aluminum jaws that it comes with from Orange Vise, and I swapped in with the kit the Area 419 that make this a gunsmithing vise. And it also comes with this tray that shows you have your V 1.0, 1.2, 1.25 aluminum inserts. They're labeled on both sides. There's two of them, one for each side of the vise. We'll go over that in a minute. This is a nice aluminum tray, black anodized aluminum tray with rubber feet. Again, the attention to detail that Area 419 has, which is incredible. All their stuff is absolutely bomb-proof, incredible stuff. So this has the ball bearing detent on the bottom there, and we'll go over that in a minute. All right, so we go back to the vise here. There's a couple different Allen keys that you're really only going to use one, and I'm a big fan of magnets. I love those rare earth magnets because they really hold on to stuff. So I put a couple magnets under the bench to hold on to my 1/4 inch. So this is a 1/4 inch Allen key, and this is what you're going to use for any adjustment on this vise, really, or if you're going to remove it. So adjustment or removal. The other ones are 5/32 and then 5/8 inch. That's a 5/8 inch up there. We'll go over that in a minute. But pop these two jaws in. Okay, so now what's neat about this is if you just loosen up, I'm not going to do it now, but if you loosen up this Allen 1/4 inch Allen key on that side and this 1/4 inch Allen key on this side, you can lift this whole vise off, and then all you've got is this little black piece of aluminum on your bench. That's it. That's the footprint. So when I'm not actively using this vise, I'm going to take it off. I'm going to set it aside, put a cover over it, and keep it protected. And then I've still got this room on the bench where I won't bump into anything if I'm having to use the bench for something else. All right, now that it's mounted, you'd also use these to swivel. So you would loosen these up a little bit, swivel it whichever way you want, and then tighten it back down. You use these two up here, 1/4 inch, loosen those up, telescope back and forth, and rotate left or right. Also, let's say you want to move this vise jaw back. You've got two extra positions you can move it to, here and here. So you would take your 5/32 inch and loosen up this one here and that one there. So loosen up those two 5/32 inch. And this is a dovetail. So this whole thing right here, this is a dovetail that extends all the way back. So that's a dovetail that holds this, helps to hold this on. Then you take your gigantic 5/8 inch, I just happen to have one sitting around the house, believe it or not, I'm not kidding you. I had a 5/8 inch Allen key socket, and then you would put that in there and you'd break that loose, and then, and again, like I said, you're not going to use that much or very often, but then you would move it back here and you would lock it in, and then you would lock it down, move it back here, lock it down, lock it in with your 5/32 inch. So it gives you three different gripping options. I don't know when I'd ever use these two because I'm not an expert gunsmith, but it allows you to move them out even farther to increase the clamping distance. So again, a very nice feature. This hole here, so this is your Picatinny rail mount. That's where your Picatinny rail goes, there and there. And this is where your Arcus rail goes, there or there. Okay? This here, you can put a 22 barrel in there. You can put your bolt in there. This up here, these round half circles are for your bolt. So you can stick your bolt in there. I'm just going to do it quickly here just to kind of show you. I'm not going to screw it down, but just stick your bolt in there. This is a 22 bolt. And then you would just clamp that bolt in there, and then you can work on the extractor, ejector. You could flip it around on a regular bolt and service the firing pin and spring mechanism in the back, like on a Remington 700 setup. So you can use it for that. That's what these cutouts are designed for. They're designed for putting a bolt in there for bolt operated guns. And then what's also neat about this is that the clamping strength on these is actually engineered into the vise. So it says once you get it, and I'll put this in the description, but once you get it snug, if you go 1/8 of a turn, that's 750 pounds. If you go 1/4 of a turn, that's 1,500 pounds. If you go 3/8 of a turn, that's 2,250 pounds. And if you go 1/2 a turn beyond snug, that's 3,000 pounds of clamping pressure, which is the maximum amount of clamping pressure that this vise allows. So 3,000 pounds at a 1/2 turn of this handle, once it's snug, so you get it snug and you go a full 1/2 turn, that's 3,000 pounds of pressure you're putting on whatever is in here. That's a lot of pressure. I don't know when I'd ever need that much pressure, but that's a lot of pressure. So let's mount it in here real quick. There you go, just kind of snug that down. So there's your Picatinny rail, mounts in there perfectly. Work on your suppressor, work on your scope, mount a scope, work on scope mounting. As long as you can loosen the jaws and adjust it so that it's level. And then as long as your bench is level, this way, you're okay. All my benches are set up perfectly level anyway. But, work on your scope. Take the scope off and any other little accessory you might have on there. Flip this over and you can clamp it gun in upside down. You can work on the trigger, you can work on the grip, work on the stock, whatever you need to work on, gives you that ability. And that's just from mounting it in the Picatinny rail there. So plus, like I said, you get universal clamping pressure as well. So the 5/8 inch you will rarely use, if ever. I have it, so I'm going to keep it handy. The 5/32 inch are only to remove the jaws or exchange jaws, or to move this back on the stub tail. That's the 5/32 inch. Again, you're not going to use that much. The 1/4 inch you will use a lot. So this one I would keep handy because this is going to adjust your telescoping. It's going to adjust your angle left or right. And it's also going to allow you to take the vise off and on the bench by taking it off the base. And like I said, I'm a big fan of magnets. So for me, I got my magnets there and that holds it in place, and then I've got it. And then again, the kit comes with those jaws, and it comes with this, and then you've got your stock set of jaws that you always can have handy sitting around and do pretty much any work on this that you want to. So you can angle it. What I'll end up doing is I'll end up angling it this way, and I'll end up running solvent through down onto a chemical absorbent pad that I then throw away, and I clean my barrels out that way. I clean my chambering and stuff out that way. This gives you full solid access to the gun. So that is what's really nice about this whole system, this whole vise. And again, once in a lifetime, you're never going to need another vise like this. Don't hammer on it, don't weld on it, don't torch on it. Just use it for this kind of stuff and other gunsmithing stuff, especially exchanging, muzzle brakes or changing out barrels. That kind of stuff. If you use it for that, this thing will last you forever. I would never ever take a hammer to this to this vise. I would never use this as an anvil to pound something. That would just destroy this vise. So again, a precision piece of equipment. Like I said before in my other video, it's like a scientific scale. You wouldn't drive your truck up on a scientific scale to check the weight. Every tool in a gun shop has its own use. I use my scientific scale to weigh my powder to the 0.02 grain. I will use this for this kind of stuff. If I need to hammer on a vise, I've got my old Wilton over there, and I'll hammer on that vise. But again, thanks again for watching Doc G's Reloading.